Hi, welcome back to Golf Training Hacks. In this video, we're going to give you some basic techniques to help you get your scapula functioning better. Now, why is scapular function so important? Why is improving your scapular range of motion really important for your golf swing? Well, it really has to do with your backswing. Right? You want to get as much distance between impact and the top of your backswing as you can, because that's how you can build up clubhead speed. And the more clubhead speed you have, the more energy potentially you can get into the golf ball, and the further it's going to go down the fairway. So improving the range of motion in your scapula is really important. And a lot of us may be stuck with some limited range of motion. If you can't retract your scapula like this and extend your T-spine as you're doing it, you're going to be stuck with very little motion in that shoulder joint. Because after all, the scapula makes up the shoulder. So that means you're going to be limited in your range of motion, and you're not going to be able to get as far back into your backswing as you potentially could. And that's going to limit your driving distance. But there's other reasons that you need to have good range of motion in your scapula as well. It really has to do with injury prevention. Because golf is about rotation, and we want to get as much rotation as we can safely. But if you're stuck in a forward flexed T-spine with your shoulders kind of dumped to the midline, and you really can't get much motion here, that means that you're going to be looking for rotation, either forcing it in a T-spine that's forward flexed and really doesn't have the capacity to rotate as much as it would have if it was in an extended position, which is a more normal position for that rotation to occur. And also, you might be looking to get more rotation out of your lumbar spine because your T-spine is stuck and you can't really move those shoulders that well. And your lumbar spine is not really where you want to get the rotation. In the golf swing, you want to get your rotation from your hips, from your T-spine, and from your shoulders. Limit the rotation in your lumbar spine, and that's going to save your back. So in this video, we're going to give you some basic exercises to help you improve your scapular function. So let's get started. So before you do anything to help your rotation in your upper back, you really need to begin to get some extension in your upper back. Because without extension, it's really hard to rotate. And not only that, but without extension, if you're trying to rotate with your upper back in too much flexion, that could actually be an injury risk. But as far as the golf swing goes, you need to extend your upper back as you're working into your backswing. So Cheryl's going to demonstrate two easy ways to use a roller to begin to get some extension in your upper back. So Cheryl's taking a deep breath in, nasal breathing, and she releases and she levers over the roller. Deep breath in, you come up, and release the breath, and nice and easy. And you could just stay and breathe in this position too, and just take some deep breaths there in the down position. Now the second version of this would be a little bit more difficult. So Cheryl's going to come up in this starting position. She's going to raise her hips, then take a deep breath in, and then lower her hips and her shoulder, and her arms rather, at the same time. Deep breath in, hips come up, arms come up, and then exhale, and the hips and the arms go down. So this is a nice, easy way to get some extension movement into your upper back. As we say with everything, you go where you can. Cheryl has some nice extension. You don't have to get to any particular place. It's based on your own capabilities. Improving scapular range of motion has a lot to do with improving the strength of the muscles that are controlling your scapula. And to do that, a real simple exercise is to do a pulley row. So when you do a pulley row, you can do it for repetitions or isometrically. I mean, at Golf Training Hacks, we really like isometrics, but you can do it either way. And actually, you can combine the isometrics with repetitions. And here's what I mean. First, a basic pulley row is simply pulling these handles right back into your chest and squeezing your shoulder blades, which is your scapula. So it's simply pulling and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now, if you want to do it as an isometric hold, you can pull it, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then let's say for a 5 count. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Release, and come back. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, and release. You could also just hold the pulley row for a longer isometric hold. So I can just pull this back and let's say hold it for 30 seconds or a minute and release, take a break, and then go back to it and hold it again for a longer period of time. A minute, 2 minutes, whatever your capabilities are. So pulley rows are a great way to begin to get some strength back into the muscles that are controlling the scapula. In this video, I'll show you a single arm scapula isolation pull. In this exercise, what you want to do is work the scapula without having any other kind of motion. So if I have the weight or the pulley towards you and I'm pulling it this way, I'm not turning my shoulders, I'm not trying to pull it back this way. All I'm doing is using the muscles that control the scapula to pull the scapula to the midline and down. I'm pulling the scapula to the midline and down. So my elbow is straight, my shoulders are square to this area here, and all I'm doing is pulling with the muscles that are controlling the scapula. I'm pulling it to the midline and down, midline and down. So you can do this with a pulley system, or you can do it with a band. So I have a band set up over here. Just wrap my hand around it. Now I'm gonna lean a little forward. I'm bracing with my left arm and left knee because I don't want to have any of this kind of motion. This elbow stays straight. I'm braced, I'm square to the wall, I'm square to the pole, and I'm just gonna pull. I'm letting it extend, and I'm pulling it to the midline and down. Letting it extend, I'm pulling to the midline and down. I'm not bending my elbow, I'm not turning, and I'm not pulling back. Elbow straight, braced, pulling to the midline and down. Pulling to the midline and down. So that's a single arm, isolated movement to help your scapula function better. So if you found that helpful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. Check out other videos on the channel to help you improve your movement quality and keep that useful fluid swing while staying injury-free.